Ladies and gentlemen, good men and good wives, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome. I am the Quicksaber, and tonight it is my honor to announce you guys, this is VRML Season 15, Week 3 of the Championships, everybody. That's right, tonight we are going to see the players of last week, Knave of Hearts, who beat RETCON in a decisive battle, are now going to be facing an entire different kind of con. That's right, Knave of Hearts is going to be taking on RETCON this time around, guys. So, as these players are getting ready to get into their lobby, we are going to go right ahead and look at their stats while they're getting set up here. So looking at the previous encounter here, RETCON did have a pretty decisive victory, winning 30-17. Now going over the record, however, we can see that Knave of Hearts' solid record, 9-4 with a 69% win rate. Very nice. Meanwhile, RETCON with a 9-1-1, which means that they won 9 matches, lost one match, and tied a match, which is a pretty interesting scenario to see here. However, with a 90% win rate, RETCON is looking pretty good stats-wise. Going over some of their maps here on Knave of Hearts, their most won map is Oil Rig, which is unfortunately banned by RETCON. Now going back down, we can see that Autumn is another map, stalled record, followed by Stockpile, which is the second banned map from, I believe, themselves, actually. Followed by Dust 2, a 47% win rate, which is funny enough, going over to RETCON, we can see that Dust 2 is also their least won map, out of the top 5 here, with only a 58% win rate. And folks, the reason why this is funny is because Dust 2 is going to be the first map they play tonight here. And as they're getting ready here, they should be any moments. Going over the rest of RETCON's maps, so in the meantime, we can see that Museum is actually their most won map, followed by Mirage and Stockpile, which Mirage is also banned from Knave of Hearts as well, so it looks like they did some of their research. Now, with all this being said, guys, let's go back to my beautiful face, and let me just go ahead and see if our players are indeed ready to go here. Not quite, and that's okay, guys. So in the meantime, while they're still getting ready and putting on their final touches, I do just want to give a quick shout out to one of our sponsors, Exclaim. So Exclaim offers a variety of custom VRML merch. VRML is pretty proud to join forces with Exclaim because they do enable teams to set up their own merch stores. So you don't have to go through others and have to follow their guidelines. If you want to go through Exclaim, you have total creative process. They will help you out and they will make sure that you get what you want. That being said, if you're interested in exclusive store-wide discount while also supporting VRML itself, please consider going to VRML.com, clicking Exclaim's link through our website, and maybe place an order. It'll help us out, it'll help Exclaim out, and it'll help you out. Everybody wins. But hey, once again, thank you Exclaim for being one of our sponsors. And with that being said, folks, are they ready? Not quite. So until then, please enjoy some words from our other sponsors in the meantime.
Prepare to start.
Baron left alive. Where is Baron? In the spawn. Can somebody
Spud in the bottom going absolutely crazy, getting the 2K.
Wow.
Alright guys, we are back, and I am happy to say that both teams are in the game and ready to go. So without any further ado, Knave of Hearts versus RETCON, Map 1, Dust 2. Let's kick it off. Alright, making sure that both things are good to go here. Let's go ahead and download those assets, load that replay, and let's get right into it, folks. Alright. And I did wait a little bit extra longer just to make sure that both teams properly loaded in both times. Looks like I set up some camera angles. Maybe some others got corrupted here, but this should be just enough to work out. Is that Chill Step? The Chill Step? How did I not know that he was back in the game? Is he back in the game? He doesn't look quite back, but maybe I could be wrong. Sorry, folks. For those who are confused by my excitement, Chill Step is an OG player that has been out of the game for the last couple years, ever since 2022, as far as I recall. So this is awesome to see him back in, and goes to show how well I know this community. Anyway, with that being said, going over RETCON's roster, it looks like it is going to be Dank, Stink, Weevu, Chillstep, and Apache. Meanwhile, Knave of Hearts is Slay Exodus, Notch. I think I got that mixed up, guys. Or, no, Notch, Apologist, Kraken, and Snipey Daddy. I did get that right. I am not confused. We are getting right into it, folks. And we can see that looks like RETCON is going to start off with a solid A push here. We do see Knave of Hearts, though, fighting back. Players on site. This is going to be kind of a tough take. Going over. Notch not looking at. He's looking at Catwalk. Did not see RC Stink as he's taken out them. But Apologist is able to get both Stink and Weevu and stay alive while Apache does take out Slay. Snipey Daddy on the other hand is going to get both Chillstep, Dank, and Apache over in mid. And that is going to give Knave of Hearts their first round in a 1-0 lead here. Now, sorry folks, that initial surprise by Chillstep did kind of throw me off my game, so let's properly go over the rosters here. Knave of Hearts, Apologist, Kraken Krieger, Snipey Daddy, Notch PHX, Slay Exodus. Meanwhile on RETCON, Stink, Apache, Weevu, Chill, and Dank are going to be their first game in roster. Now we can see an aggressive CT play here as Slay does get the pick onto Apache before getting taken out by Weevu. That is going to get Slay the knowledge though that RETCON is going to start pushing up Cat, which Apologist takes advantage of, pushing up, finding Dank. Weevu going to be peeking out, able to find the kill on Apologist before getting taken out by Snipey Daddy before RC Stink trades him out as well, putting him in a 1v2 situation here. Bomb is left in spawn, unfortunately. RC Stink opting to go for kills instead. Oh, we see another player flanking him, is able to find Kraken, putting him in a 1v1 situation. However, with only a minute left on the clock, he is going to have to get that bomb and make a play, or, alternatively, take out Notch instead. And we could see him grabbing a couple guns, maybe. And Notch is playing pretty carefully, doesn't know about the bomb. Maybe he hears him run away. 38 seconds left, though. Time is ticking for Stink. We brought him in when Maya's headset was panned off. Oh, that's unfortunate for Maya, but I'm glad to see Chillstep back in the game. Thank you, Hentai. And RC, in the meantime, is going to be able to pick up the bomb and move all the way to B with time to spare. However, Notch, realizing that he's not going to A anymore, is going to read the play and find him, catch him, and earn Knave of Hearts their second round victory. Awesome read by Notch PHX, shutting down the plant, not giving them any bonus money, and overall, well played. Going over the scoreboard here, we can see that Apologist leads Knave of Hearts 3-1, followed by Snipey Daddy, also 3-1. Kraken 1-1, Notch 2-1, and Slay 1-2. Meanwhile, over on RETCON, Stink 4-2, followed by Weevu 1-2, and Apache 1-2, with both Dank and Chill not getting their kills yet. But they will. Unless they don't. You can see some pre-utility coming from the CT side, not finding anybody, I think. As RETCON is choosing to do a slower cat play here, setting a couple down mid and leaving the rest towards long. Let me go ahead and make this my third camera angle. Boop, boop, boop. Perfect. Alright, and here we can see that RETCON is choosing to move some players in the A long here. But again, still pretty slowly. We do have the CT players holding back, doing what they're supposed to do. Alright, here we can see RETCON is making a play. Moving up 3 players. Hand push, Apologist stops 1. As Knave Daddy finds another, leaving only Weeboo left on Cat. Face up against Notch, but Notch is taken out by Weeboo. Oh, and Weeboo finds Slay as well. Gets the trade, leaving Chill and Dank in another 1v2. Whoops. There we go. Against Kraken Krieger. Kraken finding some nice shots onto the player on Car. However, with the bomb planted, time is ticking. You can see that Chill step. It's the one that was taking shots by Kraken. Now, Kraken and Chill have been throwing shots at each other for 5 years plus now, so let's just see how this really turns out. If, of course, Kraken is not able to find Dank. Actually, as a matter of fact, oh, Dank choosing to shoot a dead body just to make sure. Double tap. Always double tap. First rule is Zombieland. Kraken is going to choose to grab some guns for his team and save, which is the smart play to do here, as against 2 good players. Even though they're halved, he is also halved as well. So, with only 5 seconds left, we are going to see RETCON take their first round win. And no play is dying, which is good. Now, can he get the exit kill? Not going to happen. Going over the scoreboard here, Knave Daddy still leads 4-2. Apologist still tied 4-2. With Kraken 1-1, Notch 2-2, and Slay 2-3. Meanwhile, RC Stink now leads the way at 6-3, followed by Weeboo 3-3, and Apache 1-3. Now we can see here that both teams now have rifles. It does look like that most of the CT players, though, have opted to go without helmets. Oh, as I say that, as Apache gets a nice mow down across mid here, we can see that even though the smokes were down, he is able to get the pick. Now, the CTs not buying helmets is a pretty okay strategy, however, because the terrorists, remember, can only buy AK-47s, which, whether you have a helmet or not, are always going to be a one-shot to the head. Now, that being said here, Knave Daddy is able to find Apache over in Cat, holding back the push from Weeboo. Meanwhile, Kraken finishes him off from mid, while Dank is able to keep the A-long pressure up, taking out both Notch, Knave Daddy, and Apologist, leaving Kraken in yet a 1v3 again. With his helmet off, RC Stink is going to finish a job, taking out Kraken and giving them their second round victory to tie it back up 2-2. Good comeback from RETCON here. Anti says first person is good on the new one. I am trying to use first person more. I do realize that my camera work is not the best, to put it lightly. I am trying to rectify it. I am trying to make sure I catch those more intimate moments a little bit more closely. In the meantime, folks, RETCON choosing to do another slow cat play. A lot of players, though, on Knave of Hearts choosing to buy SMGs and Eagles, however, opting to go for what we call the save route. Apologist holding the cat angle is able to find one shot on the Weeboo. Apache finding Slay over in mid. Meanwhile, Apologist is able to get one kill on the Weeboo, but that doesn't matter as A-long players are able to start pitching in, taking out Notch. Or sorry, taking out some player. I missed it. But regardless, Apologist is now in a 1v3 situation. With another player, though, coming to pitch him off from Catwalk, it's going to be a tough one to win as RETCON not only brings it back, but now leads 3-2. RC Stink now leading at 9-3. Apache 4-4. Dank 4-2. Weeboo 3-5. And Chill 0-3. Meanwhile, over on Knave of Hearts, Knave Daddy leads the way at 6-4. Apologist 5-4. Kraken 2-3. Notch 2-4. And Slay 2-5. And I still haven't been updating the scores like I told myself I would. Darn it. Oh. Not updating. That's fine. I'll talk about that later with somebody. Alright, guys. As you can see, it is 2-3. RETCON leads the way by 1 round, but they don't lead the way in numbers now as Notch PHX takes out Weeboo in mid. Apologist fighting the second kill on Apache, leaving the rest of RETCON, Dank, Chill, and Stink in a 3v5 situation here. Dank trying to lead the charge, checking all his corners. smokes coming down from both teams. RETCON making their play. Sort of coming out, but that did give time, or did give Knave Parts time to send everybody to rotate, as Slay does find Dank in the smoke. Meanwhile, Slay finds Dank, Paul just finding Stink. It's all over as Notch finishes out Showstep on A long, and Knave of Hearts ties it back up. 3-3. Snipey Daddy is able to find some extra guns for his team, so Knave of Hearts here is in a really good position. Meanwhile, over here, not so much. You want to make sure you can buy helmets on this team if you don't want to get insta-headshot by an M4, which is really easy to do. Here we can see this time around, one of the Knave of Hearts players, if I'm not wrong, this is going to be Kraken. I was wrong, it's Slay. Okay, so Slay is able to push up into Pit here, which might cause might catch them by surprise if they elected to actually go to A-Long, but no, as Notch shows straight out in mid, the rest of the RETCON is going to make their way. Oh, whoa, what, a third person? Yo! I didn't know about that. Sorry, Kraken finding 2 players over on mid here. Can he find the other 2 players as they try to rotate towards B? That remains to be seen. Oh, but here we can see that Dank throwing the flashbang is going to cause Kraken to stay on site and maybe cause Slay to rotate, but they're not actually going to commit to B. It looks like they're going to rotate back towards A. Which, luckily for Slay, he chose to do the right thing and fall back to site just in case, which, well, right now, RETCON might be electing to save here. This Dank does have the bomb, but with only 15 seconds left on the clock. Oh, the Slay is going to get taken out by Dank, and he's also going to take out Weebu as well, falling back to Carr, making a smart decision, and gets taken out. Alright, here you can see, taking another look at the scoreboard, Paul just 7-5, Kraken 4-3, Snipey 6-5, Notch 5-5, and Slay 5-5. Meanwhile, Stink leads the way 9-5, Pashi 6-6, Weebu 3-7, Dank 4-4, and Chill 1-5. You can see that Knave of Hearts is going to take their lead back by 1 round, but folks, this is blow by blow. They are just trading round wins after round wins. My question is, what is this game going to look like when we see a side swap? Notch is able to find a good kill on a chill step over in mid. As it does seem that RETCON is favoring this cat play most of all, as they've done it mostly every round here. So RC Stink is able to pick up Notch before getting taken out by Apologist instead. Forgot about these camera angles. I always complain about them, but I never use them. Here we can see it looks like Apologist just kind of sprint peeking, seeing if he can catch any intel, sees that there's still 1 player in mid watching him. I just gotta be careful, you don't want to peek out too much and get your head taken off, which is a possibility. Can Apache find his way on the catwalk? It's a really... Peeking through mid doors. Is gonna get taken out instead by Snipey Daddy, who finds 2 on Weebu. Can he find the 3rd on Dank? No! And Dank takes out both Kraken and Snipey Daddy before getting taken out by Apologist in turn. Very close call by Dank. Almost a clutch. But going into this last round of the half, it is going to be, indeed, Knave of Hearts' favor. I don't know why I said it like favor, but it is. As we can see, Apologists, well, you know, let's go over the scores when we go into the next half. As we can see, going to the economy, both teams do have armors and rifles. Armors and rifles. It sounds British, I don't know why. But regardless, they're actually elected to go for a full B rush this time around, which is not something they've done yet. So are we going to see these CT players, this being Kraken, prepared? The smoke does go down, but a little bit too late. He's already pushed out. RETCON already floating out on the site. They have the opportunity to get the bomb down here. Now, Knave Parks needs to play for the retake here. Snake Daddy is able to find Weebu before getting taken out by Pocky. Let's go out Kraken, fighting Chill before getting taken out by Stink, before Stink also finds Notch. Kraken, though, finding Chill stuff on Windows, tries to take back side, and Slay takes out Stink. Oh, what's gonna happen? Slay, tell us. And Slay is now in a 1v2 situation. Time is ticking. Is he gonna go for the sneaky clips? No, he's not, as Dank is instead gonna shoot through the smoke and take him out. And tie up as best they can this last round and a half. Going on the scores, we can see that Apologist led 9-6. Meanwhile, Snipey Daddy 9-7. Kraken 5-5. Notch 6-7. And Slay 6-6. Meanwhile, RC Stink 12-7 for RETCON. Apache 7-7. Dank 8-5. Weevu 3-9. And Chill 1-7. So, with that. And I do apologize, folks. I am aware that the scores say 0-0 still on the bottom there. I'm not sure why they're not updating the update though. So just look at the scores above them. But regardless, Dank is able to find the push on or the pick on Apologist as Knave Hearts pushes out on the B here. Snipey Daddy getting taken Dank before Apache finds Kraken. Bomb is going to be able to go down there here. Notch trading out with RC Stink. Excuse me, leaving Apache, Weevu, and Chill. In a 3v1 against Slay. Slay taking out Apache, but not before Chillstep peeks out and takes out Slay, which is going to give Weevu the ability to defuse the bomb and tie it back up 5-5. Good retake from RETCON. And with that, we are going to see, because Knave of Hearts is able to plant the bomb, they are going to be able to buy rifles. With no armor, which is risky, considering that the other team could have M4s, which RC Stink does, so does Chill. But the rest of the players didn't choose to go with the anti-EV weapons, which, again, with no armor, not ideal, but neither is an AK bolt to the brain. Here we can see, looks like Knave of Hearts is electing to go towards A here. With only Chillstep to defend, he is able to get the kill on the Snipey Daddy before he's trading out instead, but that does give Tank enough time to rotate around and pick up a 3K against both Apologist, Kraken, and Notch! You hate to see it, but oh! You love to see it if you're on RETCON. Slay is able to find Apache in mid, keeping the play alive for the meantime, but now he does find himself in a 1v3 situation without the bomb. Still a minute left on the clock, though. He is going to do some sneaky stuff here. Going all the way to B. I must think, though, is he saving? Ba-doom, 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 ba-doom. Alright. We all know what Pink Panther is, right? $30 seconds left. Slate is going to choose to save that one AK. Smart play, because Weevu has this hallway on lockdown if he chooses to go through here. Now the question is, are both these players going to be patient? Or is one going to get a little antsy? It's red versus red and blue versus blue. Weevu is starting to run, and Slay hears it too! But with only 8 seconds left on the clock, Weevu is going to choose to turn around instead, falling back. Not running into Slay's line of fire, which allows everybody to live, which at the end of the day, that's what we want, right? If everybody lives, I consider that a success. Well, not in the video game, folks. If another player lives in the video game, you lose. If round the T's, of course. That being said, now this round, it does look like Knave of Hearts is going to save. So with only some deagles and a dream, what can they do? Mid player trying to get some early picks here. But it does look like Knave of Hearts is going to choose to go through A long. Players defending it though. Knave of Hearts playing smart, playing back. Not getting anybody unnecessarily killed yet. Dank holding down A long. Meanwhile, I believe Chillstep and back. seconds down already on the clock, and Knave of Hearts hasn't made much progress towards either site, as Stink is able to finally get the kill on the Kraken. Weevu, though, taking it out of Snipey Daddy over in B. Slay taking some shots, not looking great. And Slay is finished out by Apache. Sorry guys, I am still experimenting a little bit with first-person controls, but I am getting more of a hang on it. That being said, Notch, Apologist, in a 2v5 situation, not looking great statistically. Knife being thrown. Both players choosing to fall back here as the rest of the RETCON players are going to finally make their way into A long, pushing in. 15 seconds left on the clock. Dang, finding Apologist. Can he find Notch at spawn with only 8 seconds left on the clock? No. It looks like Chill Step is going to be found by Notch instead. And even though they lose the round, Notch is able to pick up the kill. But unfortunately, it is 5-7, which, if you buy ammo for it, it's really expensive. But that being said, the score is 5-7, sorry. And looking at the scores more in depth, Snipey Daddy leads 11-10, Apologist 9-9, Kraken 5-8, Notch 8-9, and Slay 8-8 on the Knave of Hearts side. Meanwhile, over on RETCON, Apache leads 10-9, followed by Stink 14-8, Dang 13-6, Weevu 4-9, and Chill 3-9. With that, getting right back to the action, folks. We can see that grenade does miss and land on the rooftops instead. Was aimed for Slay, did not get him. As we can see, the rest of Knave of Hearts is most likely going to be towards B here. Oh, here we go. Slowly making their way in. We can see Apologist and Kraken creep in. Oh, but that nade is not going to find anybody, as all the players are able to remove it. But, that being said, Weevu is going to get the knife flash on the snipe and take out both him and Kraken before Apache finished up Apologist in mid. And with the Slay and Stink trade, that is going to leave Notch in a 1v3 situation. He does have the bomb and a minute left to make a play, though. So let's see what he does. Moving ever so slowly, trying not to make any noise to alert the team to where he might be. "13 seconds left. Going to finally make his way on the B, but unfortunately, Apache was there to delay him, which is going to give enough time for Dank to rotate to window and try and stop it, which with only 3 seconds left, Notch is indeed stopped, and Dank is going to make sure of it, putting a couple bullets into his back and giving RETCON their 8th round win. And here we can see, after losing a couple rounds in a row, Knave of Hearts is going to get their loss bonus advantage, which is going to allow them to keep buying rifles and some armor. Now the question is, being down a couple rounds, can't make many more mistakes. How will they respond? Apache is able to find out Notch before getting taken on by Snipey Daddy in mid. Meanwhile, RC Stick is going to get demolished by Kraken Creeper and Cat. This does put RETCON in a 3v4 situation here, as Knave of Hearts does not go towards Catwalk. Oh yeah, maybe, possibly, perchance. Yes, they are going to go towards Catwalk. Dank is going to be able to hear them, but depending on if any of these players drop down or not, it's going to be hard to defend from CT, and it is most likely going to give Knave of Hearts the plant, unless, of course, Chill Step over here and pick and stop it. Where'd Chill Step go? So the bomb is able to go down as Dank does find Slay in mid, but Chill trades out with Polygis, who's on top of the whole grenade long. It does put, however, Dank and Weevu in a 2v2 against both Kraken and Snipe Me Daddy, but that's not going to matter as Snipe Me Daddy and Kraken are both taken out by Dank, and that is going to give RETCON enough time to defuse the bomb. Now, I thought if you just kind of looked at something that it goes to that, but I guess I had that wrong. Tab TV, I don't think I'll ever get used to it fully. By the time I think I do, I'm sure they'll change it again. That being said, going to the last round here, we can see that it's kind of game set match point here for Knave of Hearts. Not only do they have this last round to lose, they still have 5 more rounds to win. But unfortunately, I don't think they want a single team side so far. Team side is really hard to do if you're not coordinated, which, well, right now RETCON seems to be more so. However, RC Stink is going to be taken out by Notch PHX on the catwalk push here. Slay avoiding the nade, but not for Notch, unfortunately. So his health is taken to half. Snipe Me Daddy finding a Pashi as Dank finds Slay. Chill Step finding Polygis, starting to shut down this play as now they're in a 3v3 situation. Snipe Me Daddy and Dank trading out. You can see Notch with the bomb here is going to go for the plant, but still has Chill Step to reckon with over on Pit. Chill Step not going to be able to find the shots before the bomb is planted. Now on the defense here, or on the offense, excuse me, as it is a 2v2, Kraken and Notch versus Chill and Weevu. Chill making his way up. Whoa, that was cool. Okay, Weevu and Kraken now in a Weevu and Notch in a 1v1, and they trade out, but that is going to be perfect timing for Notch, as because he was able to kill him beforehand, and the bomb was already planted, that is going to give them the round win. But I did get an end of replay here, so let's figure out what that's about quick. Alright, skipping all the way to the very end here. Let's just see what happened. 6-9. Perfect. Right where we need to be. And here we can see, going into this possible last round, maybe they win another, I don't know. Maybe they win it all. But Knave of Hearts is going to choose to go through another A play here, setting 2 to Cat, 1 to Long. And the mid player make a defense. Oh, the nade from Snipe Me Daddy. Team kills Notch as RC Sting takes out Kraken, already putting them in a disadvantageous 3v5 situation here. Oh, but Apache is going to find Snipe Me Daddy as he was on the corner, couldn't get the kill. And Apache finding Slay as well. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Leaving Polygis in a 1v4 situation here, but Chillstep is going to get the final trade, taking out Polygis and putting RETCON in the victor spot. Going over the final kills here, we can see that Polygis led 11-13, Kraken 8-12, Snipe Me Daddy 14-14, Notch 11-13, and Slay 9-12. Meanwhile, over on RETCON, leading the way, Dank led the charge 19-7. Apache 14-12, Stink 16-12, Weevu and Chillstep both were shopping at the 7-11. All right, folks, and with that, there you have it. Dust 2 is won by RETCON. Let's go ahead and get that official. All right, I'm glad that's the case. All right, and there you have it, folks. You are able to see that RETCON was able to win Map 1, and I do see the scores updated on there. I don't know why they didn't update on the other one, but we will look into that and figure that out. But in the meantime, guys, while we do get that figured out, and we are going to let the players some time to let them get into the next game, so please do enjoy some words from our sponsors. Thank you.
Prepare to
Only
start.
Baron left alive. Where is Baron? In the spawn. Can somebody
Go.
Spud in the bottom going absolutely crazy, getting the two-way.
Match point.
And with that, guys, we are back, and I am happy to say that all the teams, all the players have loaded in, and so we are ready to get back into it. I don't see where, hang on 1 second, though. I'm just looking for my things. There it is. Okay, sorry about that, folks. So, with that, we are ready to get right back into the next game, which is going to be Autumn. So, as we get ready to go into that, guys, get hyped. Alright, map 2 is going to be Autumn. Perfect. And I still don't see the scores updated on the overlay over here. Alright, well, if anybody has any questions about what the scores were map 1, please do just drop it into the chat. I am watching it, but in the meantime, guys, let's load this replay and get it started in here. And now, I am embarrassed to say, folks, I don't really play Autumn too much. I know of the map, and I know some of the callouts and some of how it works, but I really don't know too many of the strategies here. As is, like, what is a good T push? What is a good CT push? Or CT push, excuse me. What is a good T push? What is a good CT hold? If I am right, however, I would think that there should be a CT player here, a CT player around this area here, and then the middle area, which is over here. Usually I see somebody around this area, either on top of this bridge here or down in this little tunnel here, and then over on what I believe is A, there's usually a player right here and then a player either on site or somewhere over there. So if I'm right, we will see, but in the meantime, it does look like they're in a different... Hey! Calm down! Sorry, guys, my cats are having a little fight back behind me. Can't have that now, can we? Alright. Hey, knock it off! I'm not going to have you disturbing my very professional cast, okay? Can't have it. No distractions. Alright, folks, speaking of no distractions, I think this is the game that is ready to be played. So, while they're still in the pre-lobby section, let me get some camera angles set up that I can never use in the future. That's good. And so, if I'm right, this one will be a pretty good spot. Oops. Sorry about that, everybody. My keyboard is a little wobbly. So I do apologize in advance, however, if I mispronounce any of these callouts. I'm just going to call them what I would call them if I was playing the game. Now, this being said, we can see that this roster is going to be Explosion swapping in for Chill Step and Dr. Gonzo swapping in for, I believe, Kraken Krieger, yes. And with that, we can see the Snipey Daddy is going to get the first pick of the game on the RC Stink as the rest of their players start to move into Garden here. Whoops. No! Sweevu getting the kill on a Snipey Daddy. I'm sorry, I missed it. Moving into the little apartment here, as Dank is going to try to find a Notch here on the corner. Oh. A little pre-fire action going on, but not tagging Notch at all. The rest of RETCON is going to move up into mid, I believe, and try to flank over towards A. Collegist is able to take out a Pashu as Notch and Dank trade out over on B. Apologist is able to find the last kill on the player Weevu, but leaving Explosion in a 1v3 situation. Only a Deagle and 10 HP. It's not a great situation. Now the players know where he is. There's only 20 seconds left on the clock as well. Can Explosion make a play? He doesn't have much to save here, but he would have Deagle going into the next round if he prefers it. But no, he's going to wait out the time and save his Deagle. Alright, going over this first scoreboard of the game here, Weevu leads the way 1-1, Dank 1-1. Meanwhile, over on Naval Parts side, Polymus leads 2-0, followed by Notch and Snipey Daddy going 1-1 respectively. Alright, and with that, oh, I never finished getting my other angle set up. Now is the perfect time to do so, however, it does look like RETCON is going to throw at least some utility towards A. I don't see any markings anywhere, guys. Please correct me if I'm wrong. This is A site, that's B site? Please do correct me. I do feel kind of like a fool for not knowing it, but it's also autumn, so don't blame me. That being said, it does look like RETCON is going to choose to make a rotate towards B here. Oh, no, I'm sorry, everybody. They are going to move towards A sites. The other side is B. I will not mess that up again. That being said, with only Deagles, yeah, Notch is going to find the first kill into Pashi, peeking out, knowing where Explosion is. He is going to rotate his focus over to Weevu before trying to find Explosion. Not quite, though. He is going to find Stank instead. Now, that does leave Explosion in another 1v5 situation, but this time he is not going to save his Deagle as Notch gets the 4K onto Explosion, winning him the second round. Nice little 4K for Notch there. Alright. And so going over to B site, Bravo, you can see there's a nice little engagement area right about here, which provides some nice long-range battles here, because the CT players can get right about there before the T players show up, so... very interesting dynamic. I do wish this map was played more. I do like the aesthetics of it, and I think competitively it can play really nice, so I do want to see it just more used in action to really provide a good opinion on that. I'm curious to see if I'll see it in the champs at all. But here we can see that RETCON is choosing to go really slow here on this play. They're not choosing to go fast anywhere. In fact, as they're still leaking out a spawn towards B. You can see, though, that Apache, being the scout, has taken some shots at Dr. Gonzo. You can see that Knave of Hearts does have a 50 cal in action, though. Doesn't matter, as both Apache takes out Gonzo and Sting takes out Polygis. Bomb is going to be able to go down as Slay and Weevu trade out. Now, RETCON is in a very good hold now. I was going to say in a 4v2 situation, but now taking out the 50 caliber, that is going to leave Notch in a pretty gnarly situation here, 1v4, and it does look like that, yes, he is going to choose to do the smart thing and save. Oh, a nice little computer desk here. Oh, hey, here we go. Oh, Lord. Oh, no! A zombie outbreak! How could this have happened? Sorry, folks. I'm getting distracted by the mainstream media. Yes, Notch is taken out by RC Stink in the very final. On the very final kill, his Explosion also took out RC Stink. You know, we won't talk about those after the round. Going over the scoreboard here, we can see that Dank leads the way 3-2, Stink 2-2, Weevu 1-3, Pashi 1-2, Explosion 0-1. Meanwhile, Notch leads the way over on Knave of Hearts 5-2, Polygis 2-1, Snipey 2-2, Slay 1-1, and Gonzo 0-1. Kata says, let's go Knaves! Alright, we got some Knaves fan in the chat. Do we have any RETCON fans? Let's see it, folks. Unless there are any. That being said, RETCON is choosing to do more of a split play here, as we can see that Apache is again kind of scouting ahead, trying to get the early pick onto A side. B side. Said I would have messed up there. Right. And he is actually going to find the pick onto Dr. Gonzo here, which is going to cause some rotates, and with the bomb being planted for the rest of the team, he's going to come running. Oh, but Snipey Daddy gets the throwing knife, killing the reboot before getting taken out by Sting. You love to see it. You always love to see it. Pashi is able to find Slay on defense there. As the bomb is able to go down, and Apache getting a nice double kill is going to leave Notch in a 1v3 situation here. And I was blinded by the smoke, and so was Notch as he was taken out by Explosion, tying up the game, making it 2-2 for both teams. Here we can see going off that loss, Knave of Hearts is not in the best place economically, with all players having less than $1,000 now, but they all do have rifles and armor sticks. So, can they get rid of this tie that RETCON has managed to bring to them? It does appear that RETCON is going to choose to do more of a mid play. Nope, they are going to lean some more people back towards B. Seagulls chirping in the background. Master kill. Explosions. Notch finds a nice headshot in mid. Pashi finds a nice headshot in return on the apologist on it. B. Ito comes out, making their play. RETCON pushes in. Snipey Daddy finding Weevu. Pashi trying to peek out, find the pick onto head statue, does not. Snipey Daddy taking out a Pashi before Stink taking out Snipe. Now 2v2, the trades are going back and forth. RC Stink finding out Notch, can he find Slay? He does! RC picks up a triple kill and gets RETCON their third round victory, folks. You love to see it if you're a RETCON fan, you hate to see it if you're a Knave of Hearts. Going over the scoreboard here, we can see that Knave Notch leads on Knave of Hearts. Excuse me, folks, I am stumbling over my words tonight. But he leads 6-4, Snipe 5-4, Apologist 2-3, Slay 1-3. Meanwhile, Stink 7-2, Apache 5-3, Weevil 1-5, Dank 3-2, and Explosion 1-2. Rapid fire as both teams are already pushing off, and we can see. Again, it looks like RETCON playing a little bit more slowly, but choosing to lean towards B. This time, Snipey Daddy not having any of it, pushing up a little bit, but does get punished to take some bullets in return. We can see RETCON still playing slowly, Apache, but ever the scout, looking for an easy pick, looking to maybe get some CT players out of position. Notch is able to fight Explosion, however, on the other site, as that appears to be where all the other players are going. Where's my keyboard? Okay. Here we can see the rest of RETCON is slowly pushing up towards A site, but Notch is able to get a call out Dank before Dank finds the kill onto him. And that is going to cause the majority of Knave of Hearts to rotate back. RETCON being explosive, trying to take side as quickly as possible. They don't realize that it's free. As, yes, we can see the Slay is smoked off. Slay trying to go into Weevu, though, before it takes effect. Is going to slow down the RETCON play and the replay. No, I fixed it, I thought. Sorry, folks. We love Pav TV. Let's get a We Love Pav TV in the chat. Because without Pav TV, we would have no official cascades. Remember that. Alright, we don't need to watch the whole thing, though. Let's see. Okay. 2-3, this looks right. If I remember right... Wait, no. This doesn't look right. Now, let's skip ahead, Mr. Sandman. Okay, here we can see... Yes, here we can see that RETCON is being explosive, trying to make their play here, as we can see the rest of the Knave of Hearts rotating. This is where we left off, folks. Apache is able to find the kill on Dr. Gonzo. Here we see Slay Exodus getting a kill into Weevu before the smoke takes hold. Now, 3v3 situation here. 3v2, Slay finding Apache as the bomb does go down, however. Dank and Stink, though, with both 1 HP left. Slay taking out Dank. RC Stink now. A 1v1. Holding from Van. Does hear some steps coming from behind him. Will he find it? Oh, he does find the pick on the Slay. Both players now know where he is, though. Time is ticking down. They're going to rush him. Oh, and he does get the trade on his Snipey Daddy, doing the best he could do. But unfortunately, with Apologist left alive, that is going to let him pick up some guns and leave him enough time to defuse the bomb. Unless, of course, he butterfingers it. 9. Well, 756222499. There you have it, folks. The bomb is defused, and Knave of Hearts tied it back up again. Notch leading the way 7-5, Snipey Daddy 6-5, Slay 4-4, Apologist 2-3, Gonzo 0-4. Meanwhile, Stink leads RETCON 9-3, Apache 6-4, Dank 4-3, Weevil 1-6, and Explosion 1-3. And it does look like we're going to see more of a heavy A play this time around. See Notch trying to throw some counter utility, does get tagged up, but escapes with his life. And he's going to be able to call that there were multiple players coming towards A, so how does RETCON choose to react to that? They choose to go full steam ahead, full push. Flashes come out. Pashi finding Slay with a nade. Dank finding Notch on the site. Nade not connecting as Gonzo's taken out by Stink. Snipey Daddy, however, is able to get one kill on the Dank. Trying to save the day, but no. Explosion shuts down Snipey Daddy, putting Polgis in a 1v4. Trying to find the kill explosion before getting taken out by Stink. He does, but he is then taken out by Stink, which is going to lose him the round. Good push by RETCON. Here we can see Knave of Hearts, not the best situation economically. No armor to spare. They won't need it against AKs. And with that, RETCON is going to choose to go back to more of their B plays here. Dank pushing out, finding Snipey Daddy off the rip. Dank also finding Polgis as well. Slay again taken out by Stink. These anti-eco weapons are not cutting it against RETCON, as they're just getting shredded as RC Stink picks up another kill into Dr. Gonzo, leaving Notch in a 1v5 situation with nothing but two knives. Two little forks. Oh gosh. Looks like he's making a nice succulent meal. Oh no! Explosion ruined Notch's meal and takes him out, securing no deaths for RETCON. And giving them the 5th round advantage if they go into the next half, not winning this one. So with that, Knave of Hearts did save last round, so they should have enough money to make a difference this time. You can see it does look like RETCON is going to go back to B. A. B. A. B. A. B. Oh, just find the cross map on the Dank. I missed that? Oh no! I was doing a little stupid rap. These stutters, it doesn't help either, but we can see that RETCON is going to try and, even with one less player due to an unfortunate cross map, you hate to see it, try to make this B play work here. I can see Notch hiding ever so patient. Setting up the util for the push. However, Apache is going to get found out by Notch as Slay finds Explosion before getting taken out by Weevu. With only 7 HP and the bomb, Weevu is in a pretty tight spot. With 4 players still left alive, they're going to choose to rotate instead. I really like this third person for you guys. I might start using this a lot more. Let me know what you guys think about it. Alright, with that, utilities coming out. Oh, Paul just does find a kill on the Weevu, putting Stink in a 1v1. Can he get a kill? Can he save the round? More importantly, kills don't really mean much if you don't win. Oh, but no, he's going to trade out with Dr. Gonzo, who peeks in, securing the round win and tying it up again as much as possible. 4-5. Going into the next half, we can see the Notch led the way 8-7, Polgis 5-5, Snipey Daddy 7-7, Slay 5-7, and Gonzo 1-6. Meanwhile, over on RETCON, Stink leads at 13-4, followed by Pashi 7-5, Dank 7-5, Weevu 2-7, and Explosion 3-5. With that, folks, we are going to see both teams already leaving spawn because I am slow, despite being the Quicksaver. But we are going to see that Knave of Hearts for their first T round is going to choose to do a pretty fast A play. I definitely don't have to think about it every time before I say it. Here we can see the pistols coming out. RC Stink is going to be able to find Slay Exodus. He is also going to pick up Snipey Daddy as well. Leaving only 3 players for this push. Oh, that thing! Completely shut down Dr. Gonzo, making him one shot. However, with 1 HP, Notch is going to get the bomb down. Explosion trading out with him as well, leaving Polgis in a 1v3, fighting 2! Fighting Tank and Stink! Oh my god, what the heck? He knows where one is, knows where the other is! Can't Paul just save it? No! Apache rushing him with the Glock in his Rari is able to take out Polygis. And unfortunately, it was so close to being a clutch moment. He really had it with the 1-2 combo. But Apache shut down any hopes and dreams he might have had and extends RETCON's lead 6-4. Oh, folks, you hate to see it, depending on what team you are. We'd love to see it if you do. Alright. And with that, even though they got the bomb plant, Knave of Hearts is choosing to save their economy even more and electing to save, which, depending on how this round goes, is going to give them a lot of extra money next round. But they are choosing to, again, go for a solid B push here. A push. Blech. This should be B side, dang it. Trust me. I know games. I play them. Alright. Slowly but surely here, we can see the notch with the bomb. Just waiting for his team, trying to see if anybody gets a little, cocky, if anybody pushes out from RETCON. Makes themselves an easy target, but RETCON not doing that. You can see that RC Sting playing back as well as Explosion, not playing any farther ahead than they need to be, is not going to give Knave of Hearts any easy kills. Smart positioning for both Explosion and Sting. However, Slay Exodus is going to get the kill onto Dank over in mid, which is not going to pull off anybody yet. As we can see, the main push is still here on A, which should be B, but it's A. And here we can see that Apache is able to finish off Snipey Daddy over in mid as the rest of Knave of Hearts starts to push out as Pojab takes some shots. Putting down someone with his own Kraken Krieger. Oh, back in for somebody, I guess. Oh, but Kraken gets taken out as Slay takes out Apache, but Sting finding Polygis right after and finishing off Notch as well is going to shut down that Knave of Hearts push. Now again, they did save 2 rounds in a row, so this is kind of the pattern thinking strat with, I guess, 2 old thinking players. Maybe they're the IGLs. Maybe that's why. I was gonna say Explosion's also a thinking player, but he's on the other team, so. That being said, Snipey Daddy going alone over towards B while the rest of the team, while the rest of the team goes towards B. I'm not doing this on purpose, I swear. But they are choosing to go a little bit more slowly, waiting for Snipey Daddy to make the first move here. Come on, keep going. Oh, I'm missing it. I'm gonna view this lone warrior as the rest of the team slowly waits for him to make a move. Snipey Daddy is going to make some noise over in mid. He is going to run over to Explosion and finds the kill there as the rest of the team makes their move. Apache finding Kraken Krieger on B site. Meanwhile, Apache trades out with Notch. Weevu taking over. Dang, finding Polygis, Snipey Daddy taking out Weevu in the meantime. 2v2 situation, blow after blow. Oh, Snipey Daddy takes out Dank, leaving RC Stink in a 1v1. 1v2, excuse me. 1v1 if he can take out Snipey Daddy, which he does! 1v1 situation, but Slay shuts it down, giving Knave of Hearts their comeback round and putting them back into the game at 5-7. Good shutdown by Slay, and overall great play by Knave of Hearts. Going slow there, allowing Snipey Daddy to get some intel, maybe draw a player off a site, or at least get them out of position, which might have been the round deciding factor here, which allowed Slay to clutch up and put them back into contention. I'm sorry, does Slay? That's a visual bug. He still has full HP on the top of the screen. That would be extremely strange if he spawned in with only a quarter. And also unfortunate as well. You really hate to see it, you could say. Alright. Here we can see Knave of Hearts is choosing to go slow again. Kind of doing the same thing where they let, I believe, Snipey Daddy take charge here. Oh, here they are. Figured it out. I learned it. See Snipe Daddy just kind of holding this, waiting for the same push that he saw Explosion do last time. Not going to happen, though, as... Here we can see Paul just taking out Weevoo over on site before getting taken out by Dank in return. Kraken takes some shots of Sting, taking him out as Snipe Daddy finds Dank over in mid. Notch taking out Apache. This is going to give Knave of Hearts sight. Can Explosion shut it down? He's in a 1v4, and with only a Deagle here, it's not looking great. But Explosion has hit some pretty great headshots in the past. Can he hit 4 more? Only 25 HP, 1 more bullet's going to take him out of commission, and it does. Slaxus finds the headshot onto Explosion, which slowly shortens that lead RETCON has, making it 6-7. Going to the scoreboard here, we can see that Notch leads 11-10, followed by Snipe Daddy 11-10 as well. Apologist 8-9, Slay 9-9, and Kraken hopping in for... I can't remember who's in before him, unfortunately. He's a new swapping one, however. Meanwhile, Stink leads 19-7 over on RETCON, followed by Apache 11-8, Dank 10-9, Weevoo 4-9, and Explosion 4-8. Here we can see some early intel from Weevoo, or Apache, excuse me. I believe oops, on the other side. But that is going to show that Knave of Hearts is leaning towards B here, as Apologist does find a nice headshot on the Weevoo. Oh, dang. Does find Snipe Daddy over in mid, but where the main push is, Notch is going to find Apache. Slay finding Dank over in mid. Putting Explosion and Stink again in another 2v4 situation here. Not ideal. Uh-oh. Sorry, folks. 6-7. Actually, let me see here. 24 minutes. Okay, perfect. Why did I do that in the past? Because now I could just go right to where I want to go. I really don't know why it ended so soon, though, because that really was anybody's game. Okay, dokie. 6-7 here. Yes, here we go. 2v3 situation. Alright, let's get right back into it, folks. Here we can see Explosion and Stink trying to work together. Army of 2 style here. Meanwhile, Kraken and Paul just doing the same thing on the other side as they play Ring Around the Rosie and Stink fights Kraken. Paul just waiting. Oh, and biding his time with perfect trigger discipline. Waits for both players to move on and forget, and peeks out and gets both of them before trading with Stink, but that is going to secure them the round victory and get them the round win. That's why, folks, you don't get too impatient. You got to have some patience. Let them think they win. Let them run away. Then surprise. Surprise, you did not. Really good trigger discipline shown by Stink there. Alright. Score tied up again. How is Knave of Hearts going to choose to respond? Looks like they're going to do a split play here, sending Kraken and Apologist down through the... While Notch, still with the bomb, hangs back and spawn. Oh, dang! Pushing it aggressively. Finds Slay! Does not find any other mid players as the rest of Knave of Hearts does choose to go again towards B. Oh, after throwing some util, leaving Kraken just to defend, they are falling back. And here we see Paul just accidentally team kills Notch in the back and Stink takes out Snipey Daddy and Paul just, you hate to see that. You really, really do hate to see that. Because not only did they lose, anytime you kill a teammate or get killed by a teammate, even if you both know it was a complete accident, you just still have that feeling in your gut like, oh man. And it does affect you, especially if you don't know how to think about it and know how to move on from it quickly. So, unfortunate turn of events there, completely accidental, but now RETCON has the lead 7-8. Can Knave of Hearts respond? Remember guys, Knave of Hearts lost the last map, 5-10. So if RETCON wins this one, that's match, and they are no longer in the season championship. So we are going to see them choose to go more towards B here. Hey, gosh! See that? I think I'm going to make this my preset, so I never forget what it is again. But Explosion. Waiting patiently. Here's a couple footsteps. Peeking out! Oh no! Trades with Snipey Daddy as Snipey Daddy throws the nade on the site. Paul just finding Dank as RC Stink does find Slay Exodus over mid, however, that is going to give Knave of Hearts the time they need to defuse or plant the bomb, excuse me. Weave is going to find Apologist, leaving Notch and Kraken here in a 2v3 situation. What is going on? Let me watch. I want to know who wins. I don't know. It could be it's any team's game. I don't know why it keeps ending so soon. Let me watch. I want to see it now. Oh jeez. I don't remember how far it was. Oh no. Okay, here we can see. Okay, this was better. I know it was a 2v something. Here we go. 2v3. For both Notch and Kraken triggered here. Both sight. RC Stink is going to take out Kraken Trigger, leaving only Notch at a 1v2. Is taking out Apache. Still in the trades out with Stink. But unfortunately, Weevu is left alive. As he is now going to be able to defuse the bomb and give RETCON their 9th victory, putting them ever closer to a 10-7 win and 2-0 victory. Going over the scoreboard here, tell you what, folks, let's go over it. Let's go over it now. Notch, 14-12. Apologist, 12-11. Snipey, 12-13. Slay, 10-11. Kraken, 1-5. Stink leads over on RETCON, 25-9. Having a great game today. Pashi, 12-10. Dank, 12-11. Weevu, 4-10. And Explosion, 5-10. All right, folks. With that, are we going to see the last round? Part of me thinks that because I've been seeing so many replays and that this might be it, but part of me also thinks that life is a movie. And this is the climax. Alright guys, Knave of Hearts, game, set, match here. If they lose this round, they lose their chances to move on in the championship. Now the split play here, utility does go out. Apologist gets taken out by Apache. Snipey Daddy getting taken out by RC Stink, already putting Knave of Hearts in a 3v5 situation. However, both Stink and Apache are one shot. Oh, making steps. Kraken is able to take out Apache. As Notch evens it up, making it 3v3 again with a nice headshot on the Weevu. Slay, 3v2 as he takes out Stink. 2v3 situation now for both Explosion and Dank. Dank looking for the nice headshot across sight. Well, meanwhile, Explosion tries to pinch off as well, finding Kraken. As Dank finds Slay, leaving Notch in a 1v3. Oh, 1v2, but make that a 0v2 as Explosion accidentally kills Dank in an unfortunate team kill, and guys, defuses the bomb. And with that, folks, 7-10 victory. Explosion, the last one alive, due to sheer skill alone and a slight miscalculation of a team kill, is able to clinch it out for RETCON. And there you have it, folks. 10-7. RETCON wins Map 2 Autumn. Final kills are going to be Stink leading the charge at 26-10 with a 2.6 KD. I think my math is right. Pashi 13-11, Dank 14-12, Weevu 4-11, and Explosion 6-10. Meanwhile, Knave of Hearts put up a great effort with Notch leading the way at 15-13, Apologist 12-12, Snipe Me Daddy 12-14, Slay Exodus 11-12, and Kraken 2-6, who had an unfortunate swap in with another player that I can't remember, unfortunately. But there you have it, folks. That is going to be both maps, and that is going to be RETCON taking home Map 2 and Season 15, Week 3. They're going to be moving on. Alright, folks, let me go ahead and get this map updated. And, oh no, that's the wrong map. Alright, folks. Don't worry about the TBD, to be determined score for Knave of Hearts. That is not accurate. Knave of Hearts is going to be, unfortunately, taking a seat as RETCON moves on next week. As I don't know exactly who they will be facing yet, but keep an eye out in the announcements on the Discord channel, as we will let you all know as soon as that is decided. But until then, everybody, thank you so much for joining me tonight. It was a really awesome match to watch. Knave of Hearts put up a really good fight, but RETCON in the end was able to clinch it, taking on 2 maps and securing their spot in next week's game. With that, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Thank you again to everybody who was watching VRML. Thank you to VRML for putting this all on. I will not waste any more of your all time. Have a good night. Boots, say goodbye. Thank you, Boots. Have a good night, everybody. Take care.
Pavlov VRML is brought to you by Exclaim, HyperX, ProTube VR, VR